The White House has confirmed that chemical weapons have been used against rebel fighters in Syria. In a statement from the White House, officials say that President Obama has now decided to provide military support with the rebels and will share this new information with other G8 leaders when they meet in the UK next week. Jonathan Schanzer is Vice President for Research at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, and he is with us from Washington at this time with his thoughts. Welcome back to our program.
Thank you.
So I think the big question out of this news today is President Obama saying that the U.S. will provide military support. So what does that mean? What will that support look like?
Well, at this point, we still don't know. The White House was, I think, intentionally vague on exactly what kind of support or even who they would provide the support to. The spokesman at the White House seemed to indicate that a no-fly zone was not something that the president was inclined to do. So I think we're probably looking at light arms or perhaps even heavier arms ultimately going to the rebels. However, I think there was also a caveat that it could take several weeks before that action was taken.
This puts a lot of pressure on the White House and on the president, given all of his talk about crossing the red line. Does this back him into a corner now? Is his hand being forced to take more action?
Well, I don't think he's doing it to himself. I think that over time it's become glaringly obvious that Assad has been committing atrocities in Syria. We learned today that the death count is now up to 93,000. The chemical weapons, the allegations of the chemical weapons have been going on for weeks, if not months. And so there has been a growing chorus here in this country that something needed to be done about it, I think internationally as well. And so what the president has done basically today is to finally admit what we already knew, and that is that Bashar al-Assad has been committing these kinds of atrocities, chemical weapons or not. 93,000 is a very high death count.
What are some of the dangers in arming the rebels? Do we know exactly who the rebels are?
Well, that's exactly been the problem from the beginning here. For the last 2 years, we've been unsure exactly who to support. There was initially concern that the Muslim Brotherhood was among these rebels. The Muslim Brotherhood now appears to be a lot more moderate than some of the other factions that have emerged. I'm specifically referring to Jabhat al-Nusra, or the Nusra Front as it's called. It's an al-Qaeda affiliate group spawned from al-Qaeda in Iraq. It is extremely dangerous, and it is among the leading factions right now, the stronger factions on the ground inside Syria. So we obviously want to be very careful about ensuring that weapons don't get into their hands, while also trying to prop up the good actors, if there are any, and I think that's really been the challenge. I should just note, though, that had we gotten in a bit earlier, had we been able to vet them earlier, I think we wouldn't have had these problems. The fact that we've stayed on the sidelines for as long as we have has allowed the problem to fester.
The United States will no doubt show these findings to Russia. They'll be made aware of this. What will Russia do now? They have supported Assad all along. Could their position change now with this new information about the use of chemical weapons?
Highly doubtful. I believe that the Russians are playing for keeps here in Syria, along with Iran and along with Hezbollah, for that matter. There is basically a bloc now that is trying to prop up this regime. They're doing it for business reasons, for mercantile reasons, as well as foreign policy reasons. I don't expect the Russians to back down from this. This is a position they've staked out, and I don't believe that that they will be swayed by this. In fact, I would actually expect the Russians to fight back against these reports and to try to cast doubt on whether chemical weapons were in fact used.
Jonathan Schanzer, thank you.